You've given your heart and soul to this man. And then in one fell swoop, he decides he's done, he wants out, he wants a divorce or a separation of some sort. And I know you're absolutely crushed with all of this. So in today's video, I'm going to talk you through 4 things to make him regret losing you. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to engage in the law of detachment. What this means is, in life, whenever we want something really bad, what happens is we're attached to that outcome. But when we're attached to something, we very rarely get it. Why? Because the universe works off the principles that if we're attached to something, if we're desperate for something, we're not living in faith. And the universe responds to having faith. If we have faith that we're going to get something, if we know it on the inside, it eventually manifests itself. But if we don't have that faith, if we're worried, oh my God, is it going to happen? Is he going to come back? I really want him, I'm desperate, etc. Then what we're doing is we're actually pushing that very thing away. Not only that, but essentially what happens is that other person has the complete power over you. So you're giving your power away to that person. And that also, from a behavioral perspective, can be a bit of a repellent. And a relationship is always dictated by the person who least wants it. And whenever someone doesn't want it as much, then the other person is pushing and pushing and pushing and trying to get that person to give them the love and give them the attention that they want. And hence, even though the instincts within you are saying, oh, I need to message him, I need to do this, I need to do that, the chances are that if you engage in those behaviors, that he's going to further back off, and that's going to cause even more pain. You have to get to a place of detachment. And what that means is it's essentially saying, if this works out, wonderful. If it doesn't, I'm going to be okay. Something is going to work out. You've got to have that level of faith on the inside. Now, I know that's not easy when you're going through a really tough time and you're feeling let down, you're feeling hurt, you're feeling rejected, you're feeling abandoned and so on. But you've got to find that inside of you. You've got to derive as much strength and as much courage as you possibly can in this situation, because when you do that, when you hold on to that level of faith, and you know that you're going to be okay no matter what, then amazing things can start to happen. You start to reclaim your power. And I don't mean that in a controlling way. It just means that you empower yourself to make the right decisions for you. Because I don't believe in having relationships where someone is always pushing and pushing and pushing. There's got to be a level of equality. It has to happen like that. And so really step into that detachment. And a simple way of managing that is just every morning, wake up, and to say, today, I choose to focus on acceptance and I allow everything to be just as it is. And take a few deep breaths and just allow yourself to feel grounded in the moment. And even if you say that a couple of times, 3 or 4 times, just allow yourself to step into that place of feeling centered and secure in the moment. It's going to have a ripple effect, not only on your day, but in the overall context of your life as well. Secondly, really focus on your own development and healing as a person. See, when someone once again has walked away, that will bring up a number of wounds on the inside. We feel abandoned, we feel rejected, we feel inadequate, we feel unworthy of love because it feels like love has been taken away from us and our whole foundations have been wobbled. But you've got to really have the intention to focus on your own healing and your own growth, to recognize, okay, this situation, albeit very painful, has actually come into my life to help me to grow and to teach me something, to teach me to address some of these wounds that I talked about, to force me to address some of the challenges that we've maybe had over the years, because relationships don't just get to this place. There's a series of things that have happened over a period of time that have got it to this current state. So sometimes it's about identifying, okay, well, what patterns have I engaged in? What things have I actually tolerated that I probably shouldn't have tolerated, and so on? Did I need to set more boundaries? Did we need to make more of an effort from a communication perspective? Did we neglect each other for the sake of the kids, and so on? If you can focus on not only the behavioral things, but also your own internal emotions and healing those so that you can actually find a sense of peace, a sense of calm, and a sense of clarity as well, so that you can move forward and make the best decisions for your future. And once you find that inner peace, once you find that calm, remember, you get to a place of empowerment. And then when you're in that empowered place, they'll notice some shifts and some changes inside of you. And that in turn often becomes quite attractive. Now, the third thing to do is to actually focus on not trying to get him to regret losing you. You see, the thing is, when we have this mindset of, I want him to pay and I'm going to show him, I'm going to show him how amazing I am and so on. If we have that mindset, what we're actually doing is we're letting our ego take over. Our ego is basically going to step in and say, well, look, I'm going to demonstrate how amazing I am. And I want to make sure that he knows in no uncertain terms in his own mind that he's made a big mistake. Now, the thing is that it's okay to have that in the early stages. But if we've been holding on to this for months, potentially years, then it shows that we actually haven't really healed from those wounds that have been opened up as a result of his behaviors. We need to make sure that we are healing. And if we're going in with the mindset of, I want to get him to try and regret losing me, then once again, our ego is taking over and we get locked into that pattern that we've been running for months and years. And that actually stalls our ability to move forward and heal. We want to find healing. You want to get to a place where it's like, hey, yep, he might have made a mistake, but I genuinely wish him the best. If you guys have decided to not pursue something long term, which is why my second point is so important, where you've got to find clarity on the actual relationship and understand how it actually unfolded. And, did you maybe tolerate some behaviors that you probably shouldn't have? Did you maybe prevent yourself from setting certain boundaries? Because once you identify those things, then you recognize, hey, look, I'm actually worthy of being treated with love and respect and kindness and integrity and all of that stuff. That's what I'm deserving of. And if this man doesn't step up on that front, do I want to be with him? Whereas if we hold on to this idea of, I want him to really regret losing me, then on some level we're still attached. We still have that connection there. And we don't want to operate from that place. Of course, down the line, if he's wanting to come back to you and you genuinely feel like he's made some shifts and there are some beautiful changes on that path, fantastic, that's wonderful. But we want it to come from the heart. We want to come from a place of, wow, this man's actually genuinely shifted. I've also shifted, and our love together can then create something magical. Rather than using these ego games, which is, I'm going to act in a certain way, I'm going to develop and I'm going to grow, but really my intention behind growing is not so much for my own self, but I want to demonstrate some shifts so that he recognizes he's made a big screw up. And having that intent, honestly, very rarely results in high quality relationships in the long run, because they're not built on the right foundations. You've got to be building relationships on the right foundations. And that's from love, it's from compassion, it's from empathy, it's from integrity. All of these characteristics plus more are what builds outstanding relationships, and that's what I really want you to focus on. So whilst the temptation is early on, and it's okay from time to time to have that sort of desire to get him to regret losing you, long term, you really want to let go of that. And finally, you really want to make sure that you're deriving purpose and meaning in your life. A lot of times in relationships, I find, especially with clients that I've spoken to, they often tell me how they don't know who they are. They've put all of their energy and their time into their relationship, into their kids and so on. They've forgotten who they are. They might be working, but it's not anything that kind of fills them up at all. It's just a means to an end, if you like. And all of their energy and their identity is wrapped around this family. And that's a beautiful thing, yes. But I think when we're in these situations where a man has walked away, or there's been some sort of separation or divorce or whatever, if we've lost our identity, if we don't know who we are, then it makes it very difficult to move forward. You really want to reclaim who you are. All of us have a divine purpose, I believe, a real mission. We're here to serve on some level in some capacity. Now, that can be different for different people, but there is a gift that you all have. And when we really connect in with our own gift, if you connect in with that, what actually happens is it becomes very attractive and very appealing to the person that has actually left. Because often I'll speak to guys and they'll tell me, oh, look, she's just, all she wants is just me. She just needs me all the time. But it's like she doesn't do anything outside of this relationship. She hasn't got any interest. It's like it's not much of a turn on for me. And that can be quite a challenging thing for a lot of women to actually navigate. But throughout history, women have typically been the people who have looked after the family and taken care of house matters. Now, thankfully, times are changing, which is beautiful. You know, you're seeing women kick ass and do really, really well in so many careers, and it's beautiful to see. But if you're in a situation where, you know, you feel like you've lost that sense of who you are, this is actually a really opportune moment for you, an opportune time to say, okay, well, yep, this relationship isn't quite going where I want it to be. I want to focus on my own healing and my growth and so on. But I really want to focus on developing a real sense of purpose and a sense of mission in my life. What is it that lifts me up? What is it that lights me up? What is it that brings me joy in terms of an activity or some form of employment? What would that be? And you don't have to do something immediately, but at least just start the process of thinking some of these thoughts. Get some momentum on that front. And when there can be some momentum on that front, when things can start to shift, when you start to develop that passion and that desire to do some of these things, as well as growing within yourself, then there's a really good chance that he's going to see those things in time and go, wow, like that's amazing, good for you, and this is incredible. And that in turn can get him to regret losing you, but at the same time, it's like my previous point, you don't want to make decisions based on some of those ego games. You really want to make decisions from the right foundations. Is this person aligning with who I am? Is this person aligning with the values that I'm looking for in a man? Together, do we have that level of compatibility that ensures that we can stand the test of time? Are our core fundamentals in alignment? Because if your core values are not in alignment, it's very difficult for a relationship to stand the test of time. So really focus on developing a sense of purpose and a sense of meaning in your life. Now, I understand, you know, when you're going through these times and you're highly emotional, it can be a really challenging thing to have to work through. So if you are in this situation, if you're struggling in your life, if you're not sure how to kind of move forward and create some of the shifts on the inside in terms of practical strategies, then look, I'd love to be of service to you through my program, the Authentic Relationship System, which is an amazing program. I know you'll get tons out of it. There's a really powerful curriculum in it, as well as incredible support structures in place to ensure that you're going to make the shifts that you're looking for. So, you know, if you're really committed, if you connect with my work and so on, then what I suggest you do is in the description section below, just click on that link which says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, and then I'll contact you at that scheduled time. You'll talk to me personally, just so I can get to know a little bit more about where you're at now, where you want to get to, and how we can bridge that gap. So I can't wait to speak to you. Once again, click that link, and I will contact you at that scheduled time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit that like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, and also click on that bell notification as well, so you get notified every single week when I upload my latest videos. And let me know if you've got any questions or takeaways or comments or anything. I always love reading them and responding to them, so make sure you write them below, and I'll take the time to reply to all of them. And if you want to learn the 4 desires that men secretly have that make them want to love their woman forever, click this video above. Thank you so much, God bless, and I'll talk to you in the next video.